Welcome to the Bullits and Bourbon podcast, where it's not about the bourbon, but more about who you share it with.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bullits and Bourbon. This is episode 24, and it is our midweek heavy whiskey review episode, as we have become quite accustomed to doing. And big thanks to everybody that voted. Was kind of not surprised at the outcome of the vote.
That's Balvinie twice now.
Yeah, Balvinie has won back-to-back. So maybe we should just exclude Balvinie out of the next one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so no, in all seriousness, glad you guys voted and chose. It was Balvinie Golden Cask as a winner over Dalmore, Glenlivet, and Glenmorangie, which are all, they're all great pours. You probably voted for, what'd you vote? Did you vote?
Yeah, I voted, and I'm guilty.
What'd you vote for?
Balvinie.
Over the Dalmore?
Yeah, I drink the Dalmore on a regular basis.
We don't drink that.
I don't drink the Balvinie that often.
It's got some dust on it too, so I can tell you that it hasn't been really touched a lot recently. So.
Yeah. Well, I think too, when you put the word golden cask on anything, or people are like, "Oh, golden cask, what's that about?"
It's gotta be good. So yeah, we, as promised, we're gonna do the one sip and talk about it challenge really quick here. And it's been a while since you've had this, and it's been a while since I've had it. So without further ado, let's knock it out.
Yeah, right off the nose alone, I can smell the citrus.
Yeah, it's got good hints of citrus for sure. What else you pick up?
Oh, it's smooth. I'll tell you that much. Citrus. Like a light smoke to it. I don't know if it's charred from the barrel, but...
I don't know, but, we were just down not long ago at Liberty Pole and, to pick your bottle up. And we got kind of pulled back to do a couple little tastings with them. They were going through some barrels. And I've just noticed right away the same problem I had down there I'm having right now. It feels like there's
still got that toothpaste in your mouth?
It still feels like there's like a toothpaste taste in my mouth. So I don't...
Hey, just give it a little bit of that Hawk Tuahed, and that should clear it up pretty quick, all right?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, I get notes of citrus, toffee on the nose, and kind of like a dried fruit.
The dried fruit. I could pick that up.
Very light on the oak for this one, especially compared to, what did we do last week? We did the Doublewood 12. Yeah. So that one had a much... I think heftier presence of oak to it, but very light on the nose. The taste, you can taste the oak on there. I think that's easy. You can taste vanilla. Oh man, what else? I pick up more citrus, and I pick up not coffee, toffee, not coffee.
Okay.
I pick up toffee. And the finish is very mild for me. It's not, it's not a very, depth, large in-depth finish. It's not, unfortunately for me, this is not nearly as memorable of a sip and pour than even the Doublewood.
Really?
Yeah.
It's very light.
Yeah.
It's something, if you're looking for something light and easy after like a meal, You're not really looking to drinking, but you just want to have something. This is something I would gravitate to if I just wanted one pour and that was it.
I also get honey on the finish.
Okay.
Did you pick up any honey notes?
Yeah.
Not Honey Nut Cheerios.
Not Honey Nut Cheerios. Not Raisin Bran.
Not Raisin Bran. Just straight up. Yeah, just straight up honey. By no means is it not a great sipper, but if I'm being completely honest, and I pair this next to these other three, that would be number 4 out of that 4.
Yeah.
Which for Balvinie is an unusual,
Well, alone the one that we tasted last week, I enjoyed definitely more than this.
Yeah, the Doublewood. You like that one more too.
Yeah.
So the price on this one is a little bit more hefty now than I think it was years ago. It's about, I want to say that this was like about a $90 bottle, I think.
Oh man, that's
And MSRP on this, I just looked it up. MSRP on this is supposed to be like around $54, but I have not seen it 54.
I was going to say, if it was a $50, $60 bottle, I'd pick it up. $90, I don't think I could pick this up at $90. It's good, but there's a lot more other bottles I'd rather pick up for $90.
And honestly, I don't know how long I've had this bottle. Judging by the layer of dust, I mean, it's dusty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an older bottle, so not bad, but
I wouldn't spend $90 on it.
Yeah.
It's good. Like I said, it's a nice after dinner pour. If you're not looking to drink, but you just want something to kind of cleanse your palate, something to enjoy, something light. I would have a pour of this, but not for $90 a bottle.
Yeah, you wouldn't refresh the stash after it's gone, basically.
No. I mean, it'd be one for the collection, but it's not one I'd make sure I always had a backup for.
Yeah, unlike the Dalmore 14 or the Dalmore 12s, which you tend to buy one, you get another one.
Even the double oak from last week.
Yeah, the double oak.
I would definitely pay the price on that. But
so I mean, the other Balvinie that's up there that we haven't really. Well, there's two more up there we haven't talked about yet, and that's the Caribbean Cask 14. That was the other 14. So I didn't want to throw the Caribbean Cask in there because that's a dominant flavor of kind of rum, and I think that one stands out. It contrasts differently with these other three.
Yeah, it might be nice to throw that one out in the
Glenlivet 14
Caribbean.
The Caribbean. Well, that's a 12.
The 12.
Well, no, you know what? It's not a 12. I can't remember what it is. I can't see it. But we do kind of like a Caribbean theme.
Yeah, and the only reason I say that because after that pour from the one we had where they from Liberty Pole talking about it, kind of had that pineapple,
kind of luau kind of
the feel to it. Yeah,
I wonder how many Caribbean cask scotches I do have. I don't think I've ever really kind of paid attention to it.
I think you may have 3 in total.
3, yeah, you're right. I wonder if there's another one out there I can grab. That'd be good incentive.
There you go.
There we go. So, yeah, all in all, guys, great, after dinner pour, not exceptional. I don't personally like it as much as I like these other 3, but I won't stick my nose up at it. Dan?
No, again, they put out great lines, great bottles, but just the price point, if it's $50, $59, $60,
okay.
I can go ahead, no problem, but $90,
yeah.
There's other bottles I'll go pick up for $50, $60. It's going to outshine this one.
Unfortunately, again, kind of goes back to they're the Buffalo Trace of the Scotch world still.
Okay.
So people, and I think we kind of see that with when you put a Balvinie up there, everybody votes for it.
Yeah.
Because
2 weeks in a row.
The expectation is I'd really, for people that don't have this bottle, maybe they're like, well, maybe I'll go buy it. But before I buy it, I want to see if somebody else if it's at least worth it. Now, and don't take our words as bond. I mean, there are a lot of people that would probably rank this bottle way ahead of these 4 or these other 3, and I don't think you can go wrong with it. But just from having the experience of drinking these recently, and I go through the 14, the Glenlivet 14, pretty regularly because this is Jennifer's favorite. Mm-hmm. Well, one of her favorite scotches. So she'll pour through these like no big deal. She loves them.
Yeah.
So, just food for thought. I would personally rank these 4. The first one would be a Dalmore, second would be Glenlivet, third would be Glenmorangie, and then the Balvinie. But it's not going to be woe is me if I had to just drink Balvinie. It's
I think I'm going to survive. Still a good bottle.
Yeah, it's still a good bottle, still enjoyable. Just not my favorite out of their lineup, and I mean their lineup is vast. I don't barely even scratch the surface on their lineup per se. They've got some dollar bottles out there. I've had the Balvinie 30 year. That was like drinking liquid gold.
Yeah,
that was so good. And I had the Balvinie 50 year when we were in. Oh man, I got Frankfurt on my mind. Dusseldorf, thank you. When we were in Dusseldorf, we were at the Napoleon bar and hotel, and we went there and had lunch with Jennifer's father, and he got a shot of it. I don't even want to imagine what the price per pour was euro wise. It had to be hundreds of euros for that one pour, but it was It was silky. It was probably the smoothest Scotch I've had to date. Just off the top of my head. So Balvinie does make some excellent whiskey.
Nice.
No doubt at all. So there you go, guys. We will get another poll up for sure for next midweek. I don't know what we're going to roll with. So if you got a suggestions on what you want to roll with, let us know. We'll try to make our way back to bourbon.
Yeah.
Or American whiskey. Maybe we do a Tennessee whiskey. How about a barrel proof series?
Barrel proof would be good.
We do a barrel proof. Line up some of those heavier tongue punchers and kind of see where the episode takes us. Might take us straight to the hospital. Can you imagine if we tried to do a barrel proof one on this, like how we feel today?
Yeah, it'd be rough.
Yeah, so it's like 175 degrees here in Pittsburgh.
The humidity is an absolute killer.
It feels like I'm back in Florida, and I think we, like minimal working around outside, and we just were drained.
Well, it was horrible. I went outside, because I wanted to have a cigar.
Oh, yeah.
2 puffs into the cigar, I was like, it's too fucking hot.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I can't do this. Anybody who's working outside, I applaud you because I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
it's all the lawn care guys, all the construction workers, anybody who's doing anything outdoors.
Yeah, stay hydrated.
Hats off to you.
I mean, it's brutal, man. Like I hope we return to some resemblance of normality by the end of the week. Because I mean, I hate this, man. It feels like I'm back in Florida. This is why I fled Florida.
Yeah,
I didn't want to. I made the comment yesterday that when we picked up Milo from daycare, they had just resurfaced their blacktop parking lot.
Yeah.
I stepped out and I stood there for a minute. I was like, dude, this feels just like it feels in Iraq.
Yeah.
Like that whole
feeling that heat coming off
it was so
ground.
nasty.
Oh yeah.
It was just miserable. I'm like, I can't do this, man. Like, please, let's just get back to mid 80s. You know what I mean? Where it's nice and you can sit out with a cigar.
Yeah.
Put your Crocs on because Crocs are what's up. I'm gonna get you wearing Crocs, dude.
Never. Well, I'm telling you, you got to watch Idiocracy. So they actually used Crocs on the movie Idiocracy before Crocs became popular.
Yeah.
Because they were like, you know what? Let's use a futuristic shoe that's never going to become like prevalent.
And it's awesome.
And everybody used Crocs in the movie Idiocracy, and 10, 20 years later now, everybody's wearing Crocs.
You just look down.
Yeah,
I don't have my Crocs on.
You don't have them on, yeah.
No, listen, I used to make fun of people who wore Crocs. I did, and then my kids wanted a pair, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick a pair up because I go mow that lawn. So I know it goes against all safety standards, but for the longest time I mowed lawns in flip flops. I'm from Florida. That's what we do.
Yeah.
I also though, and you've seen it happen. I shovel snow in flip flops.
Yeah, you do.
I don't mess around. Shorts, flip flops, and a wife beater. That's how you shovel snow because you got to worry about overheating.
Yeah.
Even up here in PA. So I grabbed me some Crocs and I put them on, and it was like my feet saw Jesus. Like my feet got saved, bro. They were like, oh, sweet Lord.
You're absolutely out of control.
I did. I mean, they got.
Are you shooting for a Croc sponsorship now?
Listen, I wouldn't say no to it. I mean, I tried to convince you to wear some Crocs, and you just looked at me like middle-aged depression or something like that. But you can get little. Nah, this is kind of dumb. You could get little, pins and stuff. Support your team, like Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Get some tatas on your Crocs.
Is Crocs becoming the New Balance for middle-aged men?
What is it? White New Balance.
White New Balance.
Denim shorts, and you got to have a polo tucked in a cell phone carrier.
But
or white Nikes.
We're advancing though. So is it Crocs now? Is it no longer New Balance?
No, dude, because I make Crocs look cool, man. Because I will wear Crocs with everything.
Yeah.
Like with basketball shorts. I'll take you to the court in some Crocs because I'll just engage sport mode.
No, man. Speaking of the court, I'm kind of sad that NBA Finals is
You're
over.
sad that it's over? I root for it to be over every year.
I was hoping for such a better series.
Oh, it's garbage.
For Dallas to get spanked that bad every match except the one they won, it's just heartbreaking.
Well, they beat the Celtics by 40 in that game, was it, or 30?
I think it was like 30 something.
It was stupid. It was more. I mean,
but I mean, the
Celtics.
Celtics smashed them 4 out of the 5 games.
Yeah.
Just smashed them.
And the final game, they almost, when they won it, was almost a 20-point margin.
Yeah.
And it was like watching Bird and
I think Jerry West just couldn't take it anymore. his poor heart couldn't take seeing Boston win another one. God rest his soul.
That's messed up, but yeah.
God rest his soul, but I mean, it's heartbreaking.
They're so it's Boston Celtics' 18th title.
Yeah.
All-time winningest
franchise
in the back. I know that burns Lakers fans, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but don't worry, you have LeBron James, Laker.
Yeah.
You got LeBron James. You're going to go nowhere next year too.
No.
I mean, so listen, congrats to the Boston Celtics. They will always hold a place in my heart because of Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robin Parrish back in the day. I mean, that was my favorite team to watch especially when they played the Lakers, and then the Bulls came along, and you know that was special, you know. But I mean, all those teams were, you know, Detroit and New York. You had the legends back then, so I thought it was pretty cool.
It's nice to see Jason Tatum and Brown actually,
and Brown,
yeah, get a ring.
Yeah,
you know, good for those guys because they've been grinding at it for the last couple years.
Yeah, they really have. And if you think about it, so what I thought was interesting was they put up the stat on the Sports Center or whatever it was, that the trade that happened between the Celtics and the Nets back in 2012, that was the culmination, was that championship.
Yeah.
Because they traded away all those picks, and Boston went out and drafted Tatum and Brown.
Well, it's so crazy because if you look, you know, Brown was drafted the first year, Tatum was drafted the following year at the number 3 pick.
Yep.
You know who had the number 1, number 2 pick each of those seasons?
Who?
Lakers.
Oh, no kidding?
Lakers had a chance to get both of them. Lakers and I want to say 76ers. So it was like Lakers, 76ers, Boston, and then the following year was, I want to say 76ers, Lakers, and Boston. The Lakers took Ball, not LaMelo, but the other Ball brother.
Yeah. So,
who's been constantly injured, and they traded away as soon as LeBron James got out there.
Yeah, he's a bust.
And then I forget who else they got, but it was just a bunch of mid-range players that didn't really live up to their potential.
It's been a couple drafts ago, but who was the kid that came out of not Embed, the other really big dominant kid that came out? I think Duke.
Oh, you're talking about Zion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he been a bust?
When he's healthy, he's good, but
he's never healthy.
He's been putting on weight and not living up to his full potential. It's like a lot of people. It's like, hey, you know, you bust your ass at work, and then all of a sudden you get that big pay raise. Shit, I could slack off now and not give a shit for a little bit because I'm making that money.
Hit them Kit Kats.
Hit those Kit Kats. They ain't gonna take that money away from me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's the thing. When you're paying these guys hundreds of millions, you know, right off what incentive do they have to really go out there and grind it?
I feel like you see that more in American professional sports than you do in European or like soccer. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, I think I said that, and then I immediately thought Dele.
Yeah, Dele Alli.
Yeah, Dele Alli. You know, he was, you know, a bust. But
well, I think you remember the XFL.
Yeah.
When Vince McMahon, and it was all incentive based off like touchdowns, catch. Like, I think that's what sports need to go back to, because like you're giving these guys these big contracts.
Yeah.
And they're not putting that work in the off season. They're partying. Yep. They're like, I'm making money now. It don't matter.
Can you imagine if you went to a performance based everything? So performance based All-Star game for all the leagues. Performance-based Olympic selection. Think about that. I mean, how different would it be? Purely off performance.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it should be. It shouldn't be based off of name recognition, based off of this, based off of that. And we kind of talked about that 2 episodes ago with the WNBA.
Oh, yeah.
With the Olympic selection.
That's turned into a fucking hot mess.
With Grinder, who only played 2 games so far, maybe 3 games now this season, and then Caitlin Clark getting the snub.
So since we talked about that, I thought, okay, we'll talk about that, and then it'll just fade off into memory, right? The WNBA will just go back to where it's been for the last 30 years, which is just kind of like, kind of off on the side, right? No, wrong. So I don't know what it is, but this is turning into a shit show of epic proportions in the WNBA. They're showing the average guy and gal what they really are about, in my opinion. But I'll give you a chance to counter that argument if you have a counter for it.
I really don't. I try to stay away from the politics and the drama of everything, but we
don't talk politics.
But at the end of the day, people are people, and people are like I look at it when we were in the military. There was some guys, they did their job well, but at the end of the day, I still had my favorites. They may not have been the top performers, but they made me laugh. So I always had always took care of them, put them on a good post or good TDY.
Yeah,
and it was just a little bit of favoritism. And you have that in the WNBA and the Olympic selections. You're going to have that favoritism and, some of the politics that play a part in it.
Well, I get that. And it won't ever change. But because she already got snubbed by the Olympic Committee and she handled it with absolute class, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay,
she hasn't gone to social media.
Nope.
But this is where I talked about it on the last time we talked about it. I think she has that mentality. You know what? I'm a rookie. I may have proved myself in college, but now I got to prove myself in the WNBA. Yeah. I think that's her mentality.
Well, and I applaud her for it. But the problem that I have is that every time she gets on the court, there are people now that are trying to hurt her. I mean, we just saw it the other night with Angel Reese. I didn't want to.
I don't think that was intentional, though. I think
does Angel Reese need LASIK?
Because even Clark came out and said, and Clark handled it with class.
But she's saying every right thing she is doing. She is taking the high road 100% of the time.
I watched that play over and over again, and I don't think it was intentional. I think she was honestly going for the block, misjudged it, and just whacked the hell out of her.
So then Angel Reese needs glasses. Because a half-fat blind kid could have blocked the ball or not done what she did. My problem lies more with the response of a lot of the professional pundits that get on and run their ignorant-ass mouths about shit, and they're really just dumb human beings. So I've always, when it comes to sportcasters, and this is going to piss somebody off, sweet Jesus, I don't really care. But if you've never played the sport, shut up.
Well, it's like, you look at Shaq. Shaq's even said that with the MVP voting when you got these sports writers picking the MVP, and Shaq's even came out and was like, they've never played the game. They don't know what goes into the game.
Oh, I can sit there and watch it, but that doesn't make me a participant.
Yeah, Shaq's hit it right. It should be X players and X players who won the MVP in the selection committee.
Yes, as I think it should be for the Heisman.
Oh, 100% with the Heisman.
I don't think, and that's not a knock on somebody who doesn't play athletics but loves to watch athletics. I just don't think these pundits who are going after Caitlin Clark, and they're defending this behavior. There are some politics behind it that are pretty disgusting. There was a comment that was made. I'm not disagreeing with this or agreeing with it. I'm centerline neutral on this, but I'm a little bit like, come on, can we not go down this road? They said that the problem with Caitlin Clark is that she's a white heterosexual female.
Okay.
And so it does not play into the narrative that WNBA wants. Now, I am not saying I agree with that or I disagree with that. But the simple fact that it was said pisses me off. Because once again, we're going to go down gender and race instead of performance.
Yeah.
Performance-wise, Angel Reese is hot garbage next to Caitlin Clark.
I don't know. No.
Statistically this year, she is averaging.
What this year?
Statistically, I'm just saying, she's dog shit next to Caitlin Clark. That was said by other people too. Statistically, she's dog shit. I'm not saying she's dog shit. She's a rookie. But Caitlin Clark is holding up her end of the bargain. So why is there so much hate for Caitlin Clark? Is it just a fad? Is it cool to hate her because she was the most talked about? When she could be the savior for that league and usher in a whole different generation of profit.
Well, I think this whole draft class
was awesome.
Yeah. And they bring a lot to the WNBA. They bring a lot of character. They bring, their social media influence has really attracted other people. Cameron Brink from the Sparks, she's getting a lot of buzz. Yeah. She's actually competing on the 3-on-3 for the Olympics, which 3-on-3, but still that's an honor to be able to say, hey, selected for the 3-on-3 team.
Well, if you're looking at this from the outside looking in, and I'm not a WNBA fan, especially not right now. That's the problem is that you have somebody that genuinely would enjoy watching this level, this being brought by Caitlin Clark and by these new players. But I'm not going to. If it's going to be about, I'm jealous because this rookie is getting attention, so I'm going to go flagrantly foul her. And look, I forget the other girl's name that did it the other night that fouled.
Yeah, there's been a couple. And
then she turned around and she talked smack. And this chick, this is her first year starting. She's been in the league 5 years. She's averaging dog shit.
Yeah.
You are going to go and average dog shit and then talk crap because what? You're jelly? Like, come on, ladies. Y'all got to wrap your shit up. No. Nobody cares about your female, button heads crap.
Here's
it's
the thing.
Stupid. Basketball.
Guys do the same shit.
But we do.
We do
I understand.
Johnny Manziel, when he was coming in as a rookie of the league, show me the money. Man, who put that hit on him? And when he put a hit on him, it was like, show me the money.
He did that to himself.
Yeah.
Has Caitlin Clark walked out there and been like, show me the money?
No.
Has she has been nothing but class. And there are thousands of the ladies that are in the WNBA that are probably they're wonderful, they're classful, they're going out there just doing their thing, right? But why is it, I'm just asking a question, why is it that it's okay, and it's happening, that they're targeting Caitlin Clark?
You get that in all sports. You get it in hockey, you get it in football, you get it in the NBA.
I'm just saying, but if your goal is to grow a sport, like, does somebody not sit down and mentor these young ladies? Like,
it's the same thing with men's sports.
But men's sports is established.
Yeah, I'm just saying we do the same thing in men's sport.
I'm not saying we don't do the same thing in men's sport, but you can't on one hand talk about the pay differential and pay gap, and on the other hand have a role in self-sabotaging earning more money. You're dumb.
Here's my thing.
Unless they're going to go to a WNBA/women's MMA competition, so flagrant foul results in an octagon being set up.
You see it all the time in the NBA too.
Yeah, but not nearly.
Oh you do,
but not with the focus.
You don't watch it as much, and it doesn't hit the media like it does with the WNBA because
that's my point. Though
that's a big thing because now everybody, the WNBA, I don't want to say they're under a microscope, but this is their chance to really grow the sport.
And what are they doing? They're kind of pissing in the wind with it.
I don't think they are.
If I was a commissioner, I probably would have picked the phone up and called the Olympic Committee and be like, "Bro, come on, like you hurt us." Now, everybody agrees they've hurt themselves on that, right?
Yeah, they did hurt themselves.
So you did not help our brand, the WNBA brand, by doing that, number one.
Oh, big time, because now you're on a world stage. You're on a world stage.
I would have watched it if Caitlin Clark was on the team. I'm not going to watch it now.
Not even me and you, but you're on a world stage, and the NBA itself has now become a world stage sports.
Correct.
Where we're bringing all these European players into the NBA.
Yeah.
Okay? So now you have a chance. You got a figure that's constantly being talked about. You put them on the Olympic team. Now you got all of Europe, the rest of the world watching it. What could have that added to the viewership of the WNBA?
Well, how many young girls would have been like, you know what, I want to try basketball now.
Yeah.
Look at her, I want to try basketball. Now, I'm just telling you from my perspective, I'm not going to watch the women's basketball team. Number one, I don't like Brittany Griner. I don't like what she stands for and how she carried herself.
I think they actually pulled her on.
Well, good. That's the first good decision they've done in a while. I wish USA women's soccer would have done that with a couple of their, ding dongs. That's a whole other issue. But I would have watched Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese if she had been put on the team, because that would have been curious, because
to see them teaming up together.
So congratulations, women's basketball team. You're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
You have no marketing sense and you have no skill sense. Obviously, because you chose Griner, who had done dick, this year over Caitlin Clark, who has done stuff.
Yeah.
So that was a pure. I don't know what that was. To me, that attitude does back up that thing that was floated about gender, sexuality, and race, which I don't like. I just think that when we introduced that crap into sports, a lot of what happened with the NFL, a lot of people retrograded and said, I'm not going to watch the NFL anymore.
Yeah.
And it hurt the NFL. And then oddly, what are we having happen now in the NFL? How many of them decided they weren't going to participate in Pride Month?
Oh, yeah. I think it was 9 teams.
Correct. And here's why. Because if you understand economics, then this is pretty easy. If you understand numbers, this is easy. What's the percentage of people that identify as homosexual in the world?
I don't know, and I don't care.
I particularly don't care, but it's small compared to the overall number. So if you're business-minded, why would you ever go down those roads and get involved with it? There's no payout. There's nothing good there for you except for pushback and loss of customers. So I think the NFL learned that. I mean, here's the deal. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care what religion. I don't care what race. I don't care. If you're a good player, I want to see you play.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't care if you're married to a camel. Well, that's not true. That's odd. But that would sell tickets. So, I just want to see you play sports. If you're in the game, if you're in the business of sports, I want to see you play sports. Yeah. And I want to see you, that's what you care about. That's my point. I just think, you take a walk down those roads and, I think you create a lot of work for yourselves, digging yourselves out of a hole is what the NBA is doing.
Yeah. Well, the thing I see too, the way the economy is going, I see in probably 5 years you're going to see more fans at women's sports than men's sports, just because of the wages they're paying.
Yeah.
And the ticket prices. Yeah. I mean, you go to a football game, you go to a basketball game, you're paying, $75 for parking. Plus whatever you pay for your ticket, $100 and some a ticket, and you're not going by yourself. You're usually going with a friend or a date, so that's another like $200, $300. It's
gotten out of hand.
Plus whatever food, $10 beer. It's a $500 night just to go watch
football, or
hockey, basketball. Baseball prices aren't that bad yet, but they're getting up there.
So Peter, my next door neighbor, who is from Great Britain, who's proudly from Manchester and is unfortunately a Manchester United fan. I mean, we forgive him for that.
Yeah. That's why I wear Coys all day now.
So I don't know how that happens, but anyways, I mean, we love him. He's really good people, and he's been living in the U.S. for a long time. But he said he made an observation on, and now this is not rooted in statistical data or science or anything like that, but he firmly believes within 50 years, U.S. will be the dominant soccer country in the world. And I kind of was like, nah, bro, we're not there. He's like, you're not there yet. But it is rapidly growing, and you have an enormous population where sports is pushed on from an early age. And I didn't think about that. Like, there are resources out there in America to go play all kinds of youth sports.
Yeah.
And he said it's not long before people tire of the NFL, because now, you can't even tackle. I think you're supposed to walk up. Like if you play defense, you're supposed to go up and kind of like tap the guy on the shoulder and say, "Excuse me, I'm tackling you."
Yeah.
That's how dumb it's gotten, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to make them
flag.
Flag, but no, I figure before flag, the extra helmet they wear on top of their helmet during practices.
Yeah,
you're going to see them wearing that during the game.
Well, they're doing it for preseason this year. They're wearing it for preseason football this year.
No.
So, I think what's going to happen is kids are going to start to get away from that, especially the ones they're like, well, I'm an athlete, and I want to showcase my athleticism. I don't know many other sports, that show off an athletic ability the way soccer does.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, football. For my neighbor kills me for calling soccer, soccer or football soccer or soccer football, whatever. You know what I mean? In any event. So, it is what it is. Anyways, my point being, I don't want to see the league the WNBA self-sabotage itself in when it has a chance to grow. I just, for the sake of all the little girls out there that have a dream to go play a sport, know, and I'd love to see them have, be able to chase their dream. I don't know. We'll see, So one last thing before we wrap up. This is,
I said it earlier. Hawk Tuah.
You got to spit on that thing, right? So you can't possibly not know what this is at this point in the ball game. I hope, but in case you don't, just search Hawk Tuah, like Hawk Tuah.
How'd that go?
Hawk Tuah. Better spit on that thing. How do you?
Well, here's the thing. You're a father. If you saw your daughter go viral for saying Hawk Tuah, you gotta spit on that thing, what would your reaction? Like, do you call her up? Do you say, Alexis, what the hell are you thinking?
Here's my reaction. What did you just say? Go wash her mouth out. As soon as she's out the room, babe, Hawk Tuah, you got to spit on that thing. I mean,
can you imagine Thanksgiving dinner though this year with Grandma?
Grandma's like
all the relatives and all the things you could go famous for and go viral. Hawk Tuah, spit on that thing.
Listen. Do you think that she's
Do you know every bar she goes into now, as soon as she walks in the bar, people, Hawk Tuah, spit on that thing.
Well, do they have shirts now?
Oh,
they have the Hawk Tuah for president 2024. You got to spit on that thing. I mean, we put a meme out today that was basically, what's his name? Forrest Gump, on the park bench. Just like that. All you got to do is spit on that thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't imagine, like, She was probably just joking around, having a good time, and never thought for a second that would go as viral as it has gone viral.
Oh, yeah.
And I love it. Like, I think it's hysterical. The way that she said it was so funny and so, just like spur of the moment that even the guy that was interviewing her was like,
well, all the memes and the reels are just, reels are hilarious. Like, you can go down the Hawk Tuah reel. Like, I even had to create one,
Yeah,
and put it out there on our TikTok.
I mean, you got to. You can't miss a great thing like that. And I mean, God bless her. I hope Thanksgiving goes well for her. And listen, at the end of the day, just remember, spit on that thing. Spit on that thing, and you'll be good to go. So, I don't know. Let's see how much longer this stays at the top trending meme. It's got to be one of the top trending.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's going to be the meme for June.
I almost bought a shirt. I'm not going to lie to you.
Hawk Tuah 2024.
2024, yeah. But I couldn't justify $30 on something as ridiculous as that. And plus, I'd have to turn around and justify that to Jennifer.
Oh, yeah.
And she would just not give me the most pleasant of looks. So, in any event, thanks everybody for tuning in for our weekly midweek nonsense ramble and whiskey review. We really do appreciate it. We're going to get some more stuff up here pretty soon for you to vote on. If you want something specific, hit us up on any one of the social media platforms. Follow us on Instagram, please, as well, and YouTube. And what other things are we on? I don't keep up with
TikTok, Twitter, or X now, whatever they want to call it, X, Facebook.
Yeah. Hit us up. Drop us a comment. Love to hear from you, and we'll get a poll up for next midweek. Maybe we'll do something creative, but we're open to suggestions. As always, thank you, and stay thirsty, my friends. Cheers.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast of Bullits and Bourbon. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.